G'day, it's Mark here again. And in today's episode, the car that I'll never sell. It's my 1972 Ford Galaxie LTD, or in America would have been just regarded as a Ford LTD. In Australia, they'll market it as Ford Galaxie LTD. And this car, my father bought it in 1974 from the Premier's Department in New South Wales. It was apparently Sir Robert Askin. It was his vehicle that he used back in the 72, 73. He was the Premier of New South Wales. And so Dad bought that car. And I remember as a kid at school, in primary school, telling the kids, my dad's going to buy a Ford Galaxie LTD. I didn't even really know what that was. I remember getting on the dragster, riding home from school, and really excited to see the car, and then sitting on the front doorstep with my mum waiting for my dad to bring this car home. I always loved American cars, and then seeing this big American car drive past, and I said to my mum, "Wow, look at that car!" And then I saw my dad driving. I said, "That's our car." I was amazed. I couldn't believe it. And I still remember that, clear as day. Dad pulling up in the Galaxie, copper bronze in colour. And we had that car for many, many, many years. Every time my dad, if I heard him start the engine, he was going out to do something, I'd literally run to the top of the driveway and wait so I could go along for a ride. I just love that car so much, and I still do. And as I said, we had it for many, many years. A lot of great memories, a lot of great experiences. He had it for 22 years, or maybe even more than that. I think he bought it in 74, and I think he sold it maybe 95. I'm thinking around that 95, 96. And I couldn't believe it when I was working in New Zealand for General Motors, and my brother told me, Dad sold the Galaxie, and I couldn't believe it. It was like he'd sold one of the family. And so I rang my dad, and he said, "Well, just no one else really wanted it." And I said, "Well, I wanted it." But anyway, he sold the car. I think I went to a police officer, bought it, and sort of lost sight of the car for a couple of years. And apparently it had changed hands a few times, until one day my brother's friend Ian saw the car parked, and it had my dad's number plates on it still. I think it was JB3525. And and told my brother, he said, "Oh, I saw your dad's car parked the other day." And my brother told me, by this stage was still working with General Motors, but I just transferred back to Melbourne from Sydney originally, and from New Zealand. And I said, "Well, if you ever see that, tell him if he ever sees that car again, put a note on the windscreen, because I 100% want to buy that car back." And sure enough, Ian saw the car again parked, put a note on the windscreen, and the guy got in touch. Apparently, he was a fairly young sort of guy, young family. I think his wife was pregnant, and they wanted a more practical, smaller car. And so, he would sell it. And I think back at the time, I think I paid in about 1998 or 99. I paid $4,000 for it, $4,500. My dad actually paid $4,000 for it in 1974 when he bought it when it was only 2 years old. But obviously that was a lot more money back then. I think they originally retailed for around $7,700, something like that, when they were new in Australia. Anyway, so bought it, had the car shipped down. Couldn't believe it, when the car arrived back home. A newspaper actually did a story about it, like being a bit of a boomerang, that the car came back after all these years. And when the car came back, I literally, it was dropped off at my house. I just went and sat in the back seat because I remember that as a kid, we'd go to the farm in it with my brother and sister and mum and dad. And I just remember that so clearly, just sitting in the back as a kid. So it was kind of a bit surreal. But when the car arrived, just went and sat in the back seat for a while, just kind of remembered, reminisced about those moments and those times. So I've still got the car. It's in storage. I've had the engine rebuilt. I do want to get the the carpet needs replacing, and there's a few other things that need doing. It needs the paintwork on the car. I'd say it's very good in some parts, but on the roof and the bonnet, it definitely needs to be resprayed. So I want to get it sympathetically resprayed. I've had it so long now. I mean, I've now owned the car for about 25 years. I've actually owned it longer than anyone, including my dad. My dad's since passed away a while back now. But, yeah, it's just a car that I just love. And, yeah, I'll never, ever sell it. I've got a lot of cars and much more valuable cars, but that's a car that I'll never sell. So anyway, that's just a bit of a story on our 1972 Ford Galaxie LTD, the car I'll never sell. So thanks very much. Please make sure you hit that like button. It definitely helps the channel get seen, enables me to bring more content to you. Leave a comment. I always respond to every comment. And above all, please subscribe. So thanks again. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. See you later. Bye.